do or how to even go about it.
Right.
I think that's a very good point.
It's like with the Democratic Party. I mean, especially like out in our district, we've tried to get PCs, appointed, elected, etc. But most people don't exactly know what a PC is supposed to do. And even though they're starting to actually now do, at least in Maricopa County, doing PC training,
Yes.
which is very helpful.
I was at one last night.
And how was it?
Well, I am a PC. I'm a precinct captain. However, I attended a different precincts meeting last night, and it kind of irked me because the precinct captain that was running it, she went on a little bit of a rant about Russia and atheism and persecution of religious people. So basically saying atheists are bad people, and it just pissed me off.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
It would have pissed me off too. But yeah, that's not really the
No, but
the whole idea is to train PCs, and we can't have, realistically, we shouldn't have people up there grandstanding their own beliefs when they're trying to train people what a PC is supposed to do for the party.
I agree, and I'm still learning, so
Yeah.
I definitely won't be doing that.
Yeah. Now, I know that Maricopa does have a PC handbook because I've been sending it out to people that have been contacting me. Because as chair, at least on the Maricopa side, I have to sign the forms before it goes to the county. And then the county signs the forms, and then it goes to the Board of Supervisors. So in Pinal County, we don't do that. It just goes directly to, because in Pinal County, the PCs are elected through the county, not by district.
Oh, okay.
I think that Pima County and Maricopa County are the only ones that actually do it by legislative district, whereas everybody else does it by county.
How many PCs do you have in your
This is sad.
Let's see. I just got 4 appointees through, I think, in this last session, which will bring us up to 10, 12 for our entire LD.
Do you have much of a turnout at do you have monthly meetings?
Our monthly meeting, our last monthly meeting was last week, and we actually had 33 people there.
And is that higher than normal?
That is
Usually
30
it's the,
people more than we did
Usually
in
it's
December.
the board
Wow.
plus.
Yeah, usually
a
it's
couple.
the board plus a couple.
Wow.
So we're seeing an increase in people, and I've had people that have sent me emails asking how to be a PC, and I've been
Good.
sending them the forms and the handbook,
Good.
both, so that they can actually read the handbook, see what they're signing up for, and then when they return the form, I print it out, sign it, scan it, and send it over to Steve Slagoki.
Our monthly meetings have been growing, and our last one we had last week ended up having 236 people at it, which was amazing. So
Standing room only.
yes, literally. Yeah, it was amazing. We had so many new people. So
We
it's
saw
very
some of the
exciting.
pictures and stuff, and it's like, I would love to have an LD16 meeting like that, because we just don't get
We're
those.
excited if we fill a table, let alone a room.
Yeah, that's
Honestly.
Does your district just have a lot of Republicans in it? You just don't have a lot of
Our
Democrats?
LD16 is 25% Democrat, 38% Republican, and 37% Independent.
Oh, that's good, though. Independents sometimes
Well,
tend to lead toward... No, not
not
so much?
I lead
in our
left.
district.
Not in your area?
In the past 3 election cycles, I've run for the Senate, and each time, 2012, 2014, and 2016, I lost taking 35% of the vote. Every single time. Almost identical. No matter what the message was and no matter who I was up against, I still, every time, 35%. So all the Democrats that are actually getting out and voting are voting for me, and probably some independents. But in a district like that, you just can't get your message out there, you're just too outnumbered, and so many people only vote by R&D on the ballot.
Very true.
So we're kind of hosed out there. But we keep throwing candidates at it just to give people a choice.
Were you door knocking?
Yes.
Yes.
We've door knocked, we've canvassed,
Did you get doors slammed in your face?
yes,
A lady almost dropped her child. She
To
was
slam the door
so
in our
mad
face.
at us.
because we said that we were liberals.
Dropping her child is... Wow.
Yeah, she had a baby under one arm, and she says, "Are you conservatives?" I said, "No, we're liberals." And she slammed the door on us, and was able to. As far as I know, I didn't hear any screaming from the child hitting the floor or anything. But now one of our volunteers, somebody threatened to go get her gun, and shoot the liberal.
Oh, we had
at her
him on
doorstep.
earlier, actually.
But that was Andre. But the funny thing is he actually says, "Well, the candidates I'm walking for are both gun owners, even though they're liberals," and she signed the form.
Good. That's fantastic.
Well, yeah, but is it really that fantastic? Because, when it comes down to one issue voting,
Oh, very true. All
it
right.
makes it difficult. Now, one of the things that when we look back on it, I think we probably should have concentrated on the Second Amendment stuff in our district, because we have a very strong Second Amendment
No doubt.
feeling out there in Apache Junction, and that might have garnered us some votes, but it just didn't pan out that way. But we did a gun safety video with another candidate from another district, which was kind of fun. But politics as usual. In some districts, it's almost impossible to get anything done.
And you're out in the rural-ish area.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that area. Is
Yeah,
definitely-
basically Power Road all the way to the Superstitions, and then down into Santan Valley is pretty much our district. So we're spread out. The highest concentration people, of course, are East Mesa. But once you get out of East Mesa, then you hit Apache Junction, Gold Canyon. Ah!
The sign
banner just fell over.
Row.
It didn't destroy anything, so that's good. Nobody was hurt.
At least there was nobody up there talking. It probably would have
Yeah.
knocked him over.
No one was injured in this in the filming of this video.
Well, there's that 10-mile-an-hour wind that they were talking about. That
Yeah,
just
a little
kinda
bit of a
wafted
breeze
through.
is nice. So you're lucky that you live in the district where you have that high participation.
Yes.
You've got that's Sean Bowie's
Yes.
Sean Bowie and Mitzi.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to try to find a third candidate next time, or are they still talking about doing a single shot again?
It's still up in the air. They're undetermined. They don't think that they would be able to necessarily get a third in, but it's definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it is a good possibility. Out in our district, they keep, for a long time, they kept trying to do the single shot. It's like when you're outnumbered 3-1, there's no such thing as a single shot in that district.
Yeah. Well, the concern is that that Sean and Mitzi have a target on their backs essentially right
Yeah.
now, and since especially they're new, and so it's more important to actually keep them in there. So
Right.
we'll be doing lots of canvassing to support them
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, because we lost the senator in LD8, Barb McGuire. She was voted out this year, so we lost that seat. But it was good that we picked up Sean Bowie's seat, because that at least kept us from losing a seat in the Senate. And I think we probably stayed about the same in the House, because I think even though Mitzi won, somebody else lost. I can't remember who it was. So, but I've been tracking the election stuff for a while, voter participation and stuff like that, and it's just you just get a really good feel of the idea that people just don't seem to actually care so much about the issues, that they care more about the ideology.
Yeah, and on the local level is where it's actually even more important.
Mhm.
And last week I canvassed a townhome community, and I knew a bunch of the people because I used to work there. And I think only 10% of them, again, this is my district, only 10% of them were Republicans, and the rest were independents and Democrats.
Mhm.
And so for me to go give them some literature, I was invited into 3 different homes, and we sat and talked for about 10 minutes over the politics and trying to get more people involved. Again, this is a very blue district now at this point. But,
Right. And you got a lot of people on the ground. That's
Yeah,
going to
we
be,
do.
especially once the elections, probably January-ish. That's when your people are really going to have to step it up. I'm hoping that we can at least have 40 or 50 people active by then, because at this point in time, I think we possibly have 2 candidates. We're hoping to get a third.
And no, it's not Scott and
it's
I.
neither one of us. We're tired. We've done it 3 times already. We want to let somebody else have an opportunity. Somebody younger with more time on their hands.
Do you already have someone in mind?
Well, there is a teacher that we've been talking to a couple of times about running. She's a younger. She's probably in her mid-20s.
Mid-20s, yeah.
Mid to late 20s. But she is a teacher in East Mesa, so she understands how bad education is in Arizona from a first-hand point of view.
Great.
So it would be nice to see if she can get out there. And then the other 2 that we know of, they have not announced yet, so I don't want to blow the cover on them.
Yeah.
But one is ex-union, and one's a former teacher, retired teacher. So the thing is that last election cycle we really tried to harp on the education, and it didn't get us anywhere, which is strange. With as many people are upset about education in Arizona, why candidates that actually got up and stood up and said we want to fix education by this, this, and this were ignored, while the people that are standing up there saying public education is socialism and we got to get rid of that and let the churches and start teaching people in one-room schoolhouses got reelected.
I actually did persuasion canvassing for the first time last year, and we hit independents and Republicans. I was actually canvassing with a former Republican, which was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And one door that we went to, this gal was an independent, and we started our spiel on education, restoring funding for, and whatnot. And she literally started to yell because taxes are for education and whatnot. And why aren't we raising taxes? Because that is where the funding comes from. Mm-hmm. But what are you supposed to say? Because, of course, Republicans want to reduce taxes and not pay for those things,
right,
while they give breaks to other companies.
Well, that's where the actual revenue is going. Is Arizona's tax base has been plummeting because of the fact that they keep throwing all these tax breaks to these corporations, and that's where a good portion of revenue is coming from. So now that there's, they're getting away. 2015, individual income tax in Arizona went up 4%, 5%.
I thought it was 6.
It could be 5
yeah.
or 6%, and then corporate income taxes dropped 14%.
Right, because we know that brings in jobs, right?
Yeah. So the people are handling more of the tax burden than companies are, and they're making all the profit. And then they say, well, we don't have the money to pay for that. Well, stop giving away the tax breaks, and then we'll have the money to pay for it.
That won't matter soon anyway, because we'll have privatized schools.
Yeah. Yep. And then that's where all the tax dollars go, right to the schools, into somebody's pocket. And that way, when their school fails, they can just take everything and run and get away with it. Because that's one of the problems with the charter schools in Arizona is there's no transparency. If they fail, all of the stuff that they use taxpayer money for is worthless.
And they can choose who enters their schools as well.
Yeah, so it's not as much of a school choice thing as you would think it is.
It's their choice, not yours.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's their choice. So, yeah, but this is a nice day for this, I think.
It is nice.
It's a little warm. I wish it was a little bit more breezy.
You guys picked the best spot right under the tree.
We did.
Well, this is what they actually said, you should probably go over there. And it's like, okay. And I was looking at this tree going, yeah, this I think would be a good place for us to plop. And so we have the tree for shade, and we have our canopy to keep the bird stuff off of us.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah. So it keeps us out of the sun. And if it was a little bit more breezy, it would be much nicer. But
well, thank you for your time. I think I'm going to go see about something to eat.
Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and talking with us.
Again.
Yeah. Try to stay out of trouble. I know that might be hard because I know we're always in trouble. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and flip over and do a little bit of a commercial thing real quick. I'll try to find one that I haven't played so far, and then we'll be right back. My name is Scott Pryor, chair of Arizona's LD16 Democrats. One of the things I have noticed since I became active in politics in 2012 is that people in general have increased their value of political affiliation over the value of humanity and community. Interpersonal communication has become more defined by our online communications and less defined by our face-to-face interactions. This has drastically reduced our ability to empathize with one another and find common ground to create real conversation and real solutions. If you frequent Facebook or Twitter or some of the other social media websites, you will see that many people are referring to each other as liberals or conservatives or libtards or Republicans. And many times, what starts as a real logical conversation becomes useless as people move from logical discourse to online shouting matches and name-calling. This type of behavior really must change. As chair of the LD16 Democrats, our local party will begin moving in a new direction. Instead of focusing on political change, we will begin focusing on changing ourselves and our communities. We will attempt to work together with others to help create better communication through cooperation, such as food and clothing drives, friendly competitions such as bowling, riflery, softball games, and yes, even karaoke. Our goal is to try to take the political affiliation out of the primary focus of all of our communications and start treating people as individuals, neighbors, and friends. As a gesture of this new focus,
I will begin working to provide free educational seminars to the public, which will give people the proper tools necessary to not only participate in the state government